Hello and welcome to the Casual Leggy. This channel is and will be about a lot of things, but mostly about cricket.
We've got some spin.
Yes, Jeremy.
Who is this guy?
Oh, they call him the Casual Leggy, Jeremy.
The casual leggy?
Yes. 28 and still doesn't pay any bills of his own.
Oh, that's pretty casual. Good ball, though.
Good ball.
First off, the IPL. During last month's auction, there were quite a few surprises. England power hitters Jason Roy and Alex Hales had no takers. Cheteshwar Pujara was picked up by Chennai Super Kings for 50 lakhs. After 7 years of having his name in the auction list, he finally got picked up. Well, because consolation prizes is still a thing. It's like when your dad gets a certificate of appreciation from his company for like 15 years of service or whatever, just to lay him down gently, because eventually everyone knows he's going to be replaced by a 25-year-old ISB graduate whose biggest strength is using the phrase, "let's sync up" 5 times a day. And Australian quick, Riley Meryl Streep. A man who looks a little too happy for someone who served 4 years in Fallujah. Or a man who's just lost his job as a volleyball instructor of an under-9 boys team because parents protested for a week outside the school gate. Or a man who, if David Warner decided to be a whole foot taller and do night shifts as a forklift operator. Or a man who looks like every MasterChef contestant ever that Matt Preston liked a little bit more than the others. Was sold to Punjab Kings for 8 crore INR. You know, I like the Punjab Kings style. They kind of remind me of me. Yes, we make mistakes like everyone else, but at least they're fucking expensive. Speaking of expensive mistakes, Glenn Maxwell fleeced yet another Indian billionaire after yet another year of gross underperformance that impressed yet another coach.
Since 2014, through the middle overs, average 28, strike rate of 161.5. That will do us beautifully.
Yes, Mikey. He actually did you guys beautifully. He did you guys for 14.25 crores. That's like easily a whole crore more than what the Ambanis spend on quilts. Quarterly. Speaking of the Ambanis, their team probably made the most expected acquisition of this year's auction, scooping up Sachin Tendulkar's son Arjun Tendulkar for his base price of 20 lakhs. After an outrage over his purchase, which many believe was a function of some old school nepotism, coach Mala Jayawardena came out in his support and said this: "We have looked at it purely on a skill basis. I mean, there is going to be a big tag on his head because of Sachin. But luckily, he's a bowler, not a batsman. So I think Sachin will be very proud if he could bowl like Arjun." Yes, you're right, Mala. A right-arm spinner will be proud if he could bowl some left-arm lukewarm. Nice man Harsha Bhogle, however, provided a more qualitative argument.
But Arjun will play for, Arjun will get picked for Mumbai. Just the other day, in a Police Shield game, he made 77 of 31 balls and took 3 wickets. So
We get it, Harsha, but a police shield game? Is that how we're picking players now? Then what about the likes of Ruturaj Mungekar, who cracked a 64-ball 116 in the finals of the police shield? Yes, he probably will open a successful missile power chain in Dubai 5 years from now, but that is no IPL contract. Is it, Harsha? Is it? So having said that, I do think Arjun is pretty decent. On his day, he can tonk the ball over long on and cow corner. But I just wish they'd been honest about his selection, you know? That would have been legit cooler. Yeah, he's not the most deserving of an IPL contract. But he's Sachin's son, Baba. What do you expect us to do? Not pick him? Sure, by not picking him, we'd practice natural justice and earn a whole lot of love on Twitter from heavily bearded feminists and maybe Swara Bhaskar. But we are the Ambanis. If we don't uphold the spirit of last name based meritocracy, who the fuck will? And for what? 20 L's? Yeah, no thanks. Moving on. The India-England Test series drew a lot of attention. Some for the cricket, but mostly for the pitches. Especially the one for the third test at Sri Narendra Bhai Modi Stadium. Ravichandran Ashwin, who as we speak is sending some curd rice with some rasam in preparation of his live stream with P-Dog, was really... Wait. Who is P-Dog, you ask? This is P-Dog.
Hey, naadiki power play. ಟವರ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಆಗುಂಡ ಗರುಡ ಪುಣಾಡತ್ತು ಪಡಿ ನಾಳೆకి ಮೊತ್ತೇರಾ ಮೋದ್ರಾ ಸ್ಟೇಡಿಯಂ ಆಗುಂಡ ಉನ್ನೋಡ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಎಡುತ್ತಾಚಿ ನಾಳೆకి ಪಾರೆ.
Yes, of course. The bowler was in the game. The batsman needs to bat well to get runs. There is absolutely no question about it. What makes a good surface? Who defines this?
Actually, the ICC.
Seam on the first day, then bat well, then spin on the last 2 days? Come on. Who makes all these rules?
ASH, the International Cricket Council, defines what a poor pitch is. ASH, let's read this together. If any of the following criteria apply, a pitch may be rated poor. Now let's go to point C. The pitch offers excessive assistance to spin bowlers, especially early in the match. That's it. That's all. That was just for ASH. The pitch mostly got hate from a few non-South African Englishmen. Michael Vaughan, former nanny of Kevin Peterson, put this up on the eve of the 4th test that sent us Indian fans into a Mother Jesus frenzy, including Tahir Sadam Ashwin.
See, the other day also I was listening to what Sunny Bhai was saying on air, and it made complete sense. Only because we are giving attention to people who are making a mockery of it, I think we are encouraging them to do more and more such stuff. I would like to see one day where there is a lot of grass on the pitch somewhere else in the world, some of our Indian comms talking about it, gracing pitch and putting an Instagram post and a lot of people liking it. That is something that I'd like to wait and watch, and how the global media takes notice to that. Then we'll know who's at the faulty end.
Faulty end. Also probably the best way to describe hemorrhoids to your doc. Doc, I got a... What do you got? It's okay. I'm a doctor. I got a... What is it, boy? What's the issue? The issue is me got myself a faulty end. Go lie on your back. I don't believe you. Jokes apart, when did we ever take the British seriously? When did we ever allow one of them to get the better of us? When did we even bother fighting them to restore what is right? Brethren, at this rate, Michael Vaughan will become Prime Minister of the Republic of India. Do we really want that instead of this happy soul? Obviously not. Obviously not. Obviously not. Moving on, Srishant, or as Mohammad Azharuddin refers to as Rookie, came back to the professional setup after 7 years of looking like this. And man, he did pretty well for himself. 13 wickets in 6 Vijay Hazare Trophy games, including a 5-fer and a 4-fer, and most importantly, that seam position is still as upright as Akash Chopra's frontal hairs. Frontal hairs. God, that's sick. Sadly, Sri, as your average Malayali would call, failed to make the IPL auction shortlist despite his extraordinary comeback at age 37. He had this to say.
Hi guys, this is Srishant this side. Before people get into conclusions and all that, I just want to say I'm absolutely fine. I'm really grateful for this lovely life, and just want to thank all the support you have been showing. It was obviously a big, I honestly thought I would have been there, but it's okay, all good. I have to work really, really hard. If I could wait 8 years, I would love to wait some more time. So I don't want to be speaking, no more sympathies and stuff, guys. I'm absolutely happy.
Good to know you're hanging in there, Shri. Also good to see you fairly calm and composed after being kidnapped by a crew of extra-friendly Albanians. I mean, what are you doing, Shri? Who are you hanging out with? You're back. Stop this shit. Come to Bangalore. I'll bowl to you. I'll bat to you. You can beat me like 1,000 times on the trot. Just stop doing this, man. You're back. Jesus. Don't fuck it all up again, man. Sri. And the Sri. And the Mona. And the Jaden. And the Vitamin. Don't fuck it. Now moving further south to Sri Lanka. Remember Chaminda Vas, the man who could afford taking his family on vacations bowling at 128.5 clicks? Yeah, so he resigned 3 days into being appointed bowling coach of the Lankan national team. He in fact broke the news to the board on the eve of the team's departure for their tour of the West Indies. Apparently his desired remuneration could not be met by the board. But here's the interesting thing. So he's appointed. So when an appointment happens, all the payment terms are discussed, and both the parties agree to it, and that's how you get onboarded in whatever capacity. So Chaminda gets appointed as bowling coach. So we're like, hey Chaminda, we want you to help out our boys and your boys with their bowling. And Chaminda was like, yes, more than happy to do it. And they would have discussed the payment terms, and signing would have happened on the dotted line. And 3 days later, Chaminda calls and says, yeah, so you know the money that we discussed. Yeah, I'd like a lot more. Actually, good on you, Chaminda. You know your worth, and that's awesome. Just like I know mine. I too resigned from making coffee for my mom after she turned down my request for a raise in my pocket money. I mean, who does she think she is? My mom or something? Let's talk soon, Shami. Take care. And now for some domestic news from down under. Peter Siddle now looks like this. And Peter Hanscom now looks like this. And now finally, a tweet from Sanjay Manjrekar. India's answer to no one. Sanjay, I don't know from whom or where you're getting your massages. But at least that explains a lot. Thank you. That's it for this first episode of The Casual Leggy. Do come back in a week or 4 days. No, actually, 4 days. No, actually, do come back in a week for another video. This is your Casual Leggy signing out.
पिच को निकालो गेम से, भाड़ में गया पिच, 20 विकेट निकालना है. चाहे जोहानसबर्ग हो, चाहे इंडिया हो, चाहे मुंबई हो, चाहे दिल्ली हो, चाहे ऑकलैंड हो, जिधर भी, चाहे मेलबर्न हो.